What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. Real quick before we start, you will not find any, and I mean any, gameplay or story spoilers for Mario Odyssey in this Newswave or any Newswave at all, especially this week when they are rampant everywhere. That is our first topic. And I'm also going to tell you, we're not really talking about NeoGAF today at all because, well, you know, I've relevant news that's worth talking about. All right, let's get into it. Mario Odyssey leaks are everywhere right now. I mean, they're everywhere. It is, if you don't want to have anything spoiled for you with Mario Odyssey right now, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, stay off the internet, stay off of Twitter, just go completely like internet dark, internet blackout, you know, for the next week until you get a hold of Mario Odyssey, because people are ruining it everywhere. Twitter timelines, YouTube in general, thumbnails. YouTube thumbnails have spoilers in them. It's insane right now. Reddit has titles that are posting spoilers, and there is a big issue right now. For some reason, I don't understand why, retailers, like what seems to be across the globe, have broken street date in multiple locations. And I don't want to say it's the case, but I feel like some people who got it early from Nintendo, I don't know who, but I feel like there's just so many people out there breaking these embargoes in place that it can't all just be retailers breaking street date. I'm concerned that there might be people out there who did get it early from places like Nintendo breaking embargoes as well. But street dates have been broken everywhere. People even have pictures of the entire system, Mario Odyssey system, in cases ready to be sold in places like Walmart. So it's not register locked somehow. People are getting them early. It's not like this is new. This has happened before. People have broken street date for different games. I saw it with Sonic Mania, for example, very recently. So it's nothing new. It's just, it's coming at a really bad time because retailers, I'll tell you now, I know retailers got this game a week early. They got it, I think, on Friday, last Friday. So they've had it for about a week now. And not good, because people have no problem spoiling for others that are just waiting. They just want to experience it themselves, and they're just getting spoiled just by browsing a website. Now, there's one cool thing that has come from the leaks, and it has nothing to do with the actual gameplay or story or anything. There's something I really like with games when they come out, especially if they're physical games. A lot of times when you open up a case, I think if it's done well, there's some sort of reverse cover art that is inside. Cover art where you can kind of turn it inside out and you get a whole other picture on the other side. Recently, they seem to be reserving that space for essentially a manual, like quick start guide and stuff. I think Mario Kart has that, for example. The inside of a Switch case has like the controller layout and everything. That way they don't have to waste, I guess, paper and put a manual with it. I miss manuals. Bring them back, please. But in this case, Mario Odyssey actually has the theme song for Jump Up Superstar, the entire lyrics, all of it, printed right on the inside of the case. And that is really cool. They love this song. It made its way onto iTunes, has sold on there, tons of views on YouTube. So Nintendo pushes this song a lot, and that's just a little nod, I think, to just the song and the trailer and everything probably doing so well, and them really being on board with this song, original song, I believe, made for the game. Kind of a cool little extra feature in there. That's probably the best thing that's come from the leaks, to be honest. Everything else is just spoilers. Next up, Shin Megami Tensei had some sort of live stream this morning. I recorded this before, but around the time this video went live, 8 a.m. Eastern this morning, they had a live stream and video. It will be on tomorrow's Newswave. Do not worry, I'll talk about it if you miss it. But it's on Atlas's, I believe, Japanese YouTube account. They did a full live stream, and they're going to be showing us a lot of information apparently about this game, because we are missing everything about this game. Now, if you don't know the history of Shin Megami Tensei, when it was originally out, for example, on the Super Nintendo, it was an old school style Japanese RPG. It was like a first-person dungeon crawler style game almost. And that's kind of what I've been sort of predicting this game will be. I'm thinking it might follow that same method of delivery, where it's like a first-person style dungeon crawler RPG, maybe just fixed up to be more modern, because those games, if you go back and play them now, yeah, they're a little archaic compared to what you can get nowadays. So maybe they'll stick with that same formula, and maybe they'll modernize a little bit, or maybe they're just going to go crazy and do something completely different, maybe a third-person JRPG. Who knows? But we need a few things. We need to know when it's coming out, first of all. Hopefully they tell us a date of some kind next year, maybe even a quarter. I feel like they're just going to flash 2018 on screen, and that's going to be it. but we also need to see what the game even looks like, because last time we saw kind of a pre-rendered cutscene. I'm thinking like maybe some kind of gameplay, for example. Not really resolution, but at least show us how it looks, how it's going to play, the style, maybe an idea of when it's coming out, maybe like spring 2018, winter 2018. It's a big game for the Switch to have, and we all assume at this time that it is exclusive for the Switch. That's something else that they could change. I don't think it's going to go to any other system. I think it is absolutely exclusive to the Nintendo Switch, and it's going to be interesting because they are building it on Unreal Engine 4. So I want to see what they do with the visual style, because we have seen some interesting creativity with Unreal Engine 4 for some of these other JRPGs. Also, real quick, if you missed the video I put out the other day, I talked about the Xbox One and the Xbox One X's, I guess you'd say, their backwards compatibility with the original Xbox they showed at E3. There was a whole list that was leaked online from a Twitter user who, Walking Cat, who has been known to leak correctly other things, something like the Surface laptop. I just want to bring that up to you guys just in case you missed it, because one of the big games that's on there is Knights of the Old Republic, and along with Ninja Gaiden Black, a few others as well. There's a quick slide you'll see here that kind of gives you an idea of what there is. The video wasn't as popular. I just want to make sure people did get this information just in case this leak is true. That way you can get ahead of the game and get something like Knights of the Old Republic before everyone else goes and buys it, because whenever they announce backwards compatibility for a certain game or games, if it's a popular game, it tends to jump in price on places like eBay or even your local mom and pop shop. Something like Call of Duty Black Ops 2 jumped heavily when they made that backwards compatible. So just to give you an idea, maybe start hunting down a copy of Knights of the Old Republic, unless you just want to buy it digitally. Sticking with the Xbox One X, that is due out November 7th, so it's coming up quick, right? It's coming. It's a lot closer than you'd think at this point, because we're so used to, how long have we been talking about the system for it to come out? It feels like forever, and it's a mid-generation upgrade, but Microsoft is getting the hype train rolling right now. Several trailers have been dropping all over the place, with the most popular one seems to be like a 16-second advert where this person's veins are popping out because the visuals are so amazing. But I'm excited for the X either way, because we're having fun taking it apart, and I want to do some comparison videos, and of course we'll get some direct feed footage from both the X and my Xbox One S, and we'll do some comparison, but I'm sure plenty of people are excited, and yes, trailers are all over the place now for the X, with the like 2-3 week build up to the system launching. Next up, there seems to be trouble in Destiny 2 world. Now, what am I saying there? Well, apparently the concurrent player count has been dropping off significantly, or just the player count in general who've been playing online with Destiny 2 has dropped tremendously since it launched. Now, of course, when Destiny 2 came out, there was a ton of stuff to do. Trust me, I was playing that game constantly, because you're leveling up, you're getting weapons, there's all this stuff happening. But I noticed as I got towards the end of the game, and I got to where I was capping, and then I'm looking at the raid and everything, there's not a lot to do anymore. Like, I guess I could start a new class and start all over, but there wasn't much to do with my main character, and that seems to be the case for a lot of people, because Destiny 2 has now dropped 2 million users since launch, leaving it right around 1.5 million users left. Now, there's also a theory going around that people are just getting ready for the PC version, but it would be weird to stop now and then wait a little while before the PC version comes out. I figure you probably play up until it releases and then you jump over to the PC version, or maybe it's hard for me to believe that there are 2 million people leaving the console version that they have already purchased, because the PC version is coming out where you'd have to start over again anyway. The whole thing is weird. I think it's their whole mentality where they got your money at this point, right? They got everyone's money. They don't care. And now they're just going to build up to where they release another expansion that then brings everyone back for a month or two, and then it dwindles back down. It's not new with Destiny. Now, Destiny, of course, 2 was down from the first Destiny, and this seems to be the same trend. It dips down until something new happens where there's expansion, jumps back up, and then dips back down pretty quick. It more so shows how many people just wanted to jump on, I guess, the bandwagon of a new game coming out, and they move on to other games, because, like, if you're someone like me or other people who are doing YouTube or game sites, or maybe you're just a person who loves video games, there's not a lot of time to spend on just one game. There's so many games coming out now. And in our last bit of news, I wanted to talk about Gear Club Unlimited. Remember how we saw like a trailer for that game, and we weren't sure what to make of it because, well, it's an Android game, so it's on cell phones and tablets and stuff like that. People figure, oh, it's a game that's coming over, they're just moving the entire Android game over, and it's going to be very similar. Well, that game's kind of like a freemium game, if you will. It's a game that has microtransactions, you buy cars, all this stuff. Well, this game is looking to be different, and I think it's going to earn that unlimited tag that's attached to it, where it's not just called Gear Club, it's being called Gear Club Unlimited. One, I think they're not going to have any real microtransactions. I think everything's just going to be unlocked from the start. But there was something that caught my eye. We recently had a very large amount of file sizes released from the eShop store. Of course, when a game gets posted on the eShop, you see a file size, right? And it pops up and you're like, oh, okay, that's how much space I need. Well, Gear Club is like 1.3 or so, 1.5 gigabytes on Android, but then I see it pop up on the Switch eShop, and it's over 5 gigabytes. So it's 5.3 gigabytes exactly, which places it almost 4 gigabytes more than the Android-based game, which tells me better texture files. It's going to have better looking cars, models, probably even more cars, different things in there, because they're probably gonna look to sell this for a full price, I think. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be $40. I think they're looking for a higher price, probably $60, but it looks like they're at least packing a lot of content into it. You don't just, in this case, you wouldn't just balloon this file size from the Android version to the Switch version unless there are things like better visuals. I mean, we saw the trailer. It looked pretty good. It doesn't look like Gran Turismo at this point, right? It doesn't look like Forza, but it looks good. It looks like a good racing game from the outside. I mean, getting to play, you know, see how many, you know, what the story mode's like, if there is one, campaign, can you upgrade everything? There's a lot to look at here, but if that had come out and it was like, oh, it's 1.3 gigabytes, most of us would have looked at that and said, well, it's the same size as the Android game. Is this just the Android game coming over and you didn't really make any improvements? Looks like they've at least stuffed more content in, probably done some alterations look better. So now I have this game completely on my radar, and I'm going to keep an eye on it to see how much different it looks and if this can be like the first real simulation racer for the Nintendo Switch. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for Newswave today. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're very close to 60,000 subscribers now, so if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Check us every weekday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Newswave goes up. It's a good way to get caught up on some gaming news you may have missed the day before, and of course, have a lot of discussion, and we talk about the different topics, try to put them in perspective, especially with sales numbers, something I like to do. But thanks, guys, for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.